Okay, we'll continue. Sorry again for the interruption. We are talking about the respiration. So during respiration, what happens is the food particles are broken down into simpler form. Sorry, digestion, the food particles are broken down into simple form, but they are absorbed and they are becoming the part of the body. You call it as assimilation. I hope you know that. So the final state of carbohydrate, which is called glucose, combines with the oxygen in the cells of your body and it provides energy. That process is called respiration. We will talk about respiration in detail when we discuss life process. Okay, so here I am just giving you a simple idea that in your cell the glucose is broken down and energy is given out. So respiration is a exothermic reaction because heat is given out. Okay, this is glucose, C6H12O6 is glucose. The oxygen which you have inhaled is utilizing to break it. Along with that, water is also utilized, and then finally carbon dioxide, water proportion, that is when you exhale out, there is vapor in it, and energy, heat energy is given out. Clear? All these are because there is combination taking place also at the same time and heat is given out. Now decomposition of vegetable matter, that is compost manure which is made, that is also exothermic reaction. So here a simple question can be asked, what is exothermic reaction? Define exothermic reaction. Give examples. So what examples can you give? You define exothermic reaction, reaction in which heat is given out, and then you can give example of either burning of natural gas or respiration, or you can also mention about the vegetable matter which is decomposed. Okay. Now, the next topic which you have is decomposition. I told you it is opposite of respiration. Decompose stands for breakdown. A very simple activity is given over here, activity 1.115, in which ferrous sulfate is taken. Ferrous sulfate is a crystal, greenish colored crystal. Ferrous sulfate is taken in a tube, test tube, and you heat it. At that time what will happen is there is gas coming out. Can you see the vapors shown over here? You are not supposed to inhale it directly. The gas which comes out will smell as burning cracker because it's sulfur gas. And this greenish colored crystal which we had taken earlier in ferrous sulfate will now be colored to black, because what happens actually is ferrous sulfate breaks down into, when you are heating it, it breaks down into iron oxide, that is a black colored substance, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide gases. Okay. So the changes, sometimes they may ask you what are the changes you come across in this reaction. So the visible changes are green colored will change to black color, number one. Second thing which you come across is, this is very important, ferrous sulfate actually is written as FeSO4.7H2O. This .7H2O stands for water of crystallization. In the ferrous sulfate, though here you are not showing it, but actually this is 7H2O, means water proportion is there, it is hydrated. So when you are heating it, it will lose water, and hence in the upper part of the test tube there will be water droplets seen, moisture seen. That is the breakdown of this water which is there. Water of crystallization is lost, and then it breaks down into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So the burning of the sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide gives you the smell of burning cracker. Next, you are given the example of decomposition of calcium carbonate. Now for calcium carbonate, if you take up the previous example which you have taken, see, calcium hydroxide, sorry. This calcium hydroxide is chuna no pani, isn't it? Slake lime. This when you apply onto the wall, actually it is combining with the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and forming CaCO3. Got it? And water is evaporated. Did you understand? When you apply the lime water, that is slake lime on the wall, that is chuna no pani on the wall, it will absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and form calcium carbonate and water. So your wall dries up and finally it is calcium carbonate which is left out on the wall. This calcium carbonate, if you heat it, if you supply heat is shown by triangle, it will break down into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Decomposition. So this part will be the decomposition reaction which is shown over here. Okay. Calcium carbonate, when heated, breaks down into quicklime and carbon dioxide. Another example is lead nitrate. Lead nitrate powder. If you take it in a test tube and boil it, when you supply heat to it, okay, what will happen? It will again break down. But this time there is a change. See, here this colored vapor shown. In the previous case, it's simply a vapor shown. The reason is, this is lead nitrate. So, there is nitrogen dioxide gas in it. When it breaks down, nitrogen gas dioxide is given out, which is reddish brown in color. So, it is that reddish brown colored gas which is seen coming out. Okay. And along with that, what is formed? It will break down into lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Got that point? A very good example of decomposition. So what actually is decomposition? Wherein a compound, a substance breaks down into two or more components. Clear? This decomposition, if it is by heating, you call it as thermal decomposition, and if it is in the presence of a catalyst, you call it as catalytic decomposition. There is another activity given in your book is full with lot of activities over here. This can be made at home. A simple arrangement. See, you have taken your ordinary mug with which you take water and have your bath. Make two small holes over there and pass electrodes. These electrodes you can get from your used up dry cell. Okay, the dry cell which is not working now. From there, the center part, there is a carbon rod, graphite rod also you can call it. That is taken as an electrode. And then you apply some M-Seal and make it, seal it up so that the water doesn't drip out. Okay. So, and then connect it with wires to the small battery. Say 6-volt battery will be enough. Now you take water in this particular mug. Invert two small test tubes on these rods. When you switch on, you will find that there is a chemical reaction, but pure water will not conduct electricity. So the water should have some salt in it. So if you are having pure, if it's borewell water, it is best. Otherwise, you add a little few drops of either acid or a base, and then you switch on. You will find bubbles coming out. What did you take inside? Water. So when you supply current, the water breaks down, splits. Okay. See the reaction which we took up earlier. Hydrogen and oxygen forming water. So if you are going to use water and supply current, it will split to give oxygen and hydrogen again. So here in this case, when you supply heat, the oxygen gas and hydrogen gases are liberated. The rate at which the gases come out is very interesting. You know that hydrogen is twice oxygen in the water molecule. So more amount of bubbles come out from hydrogen terminal and lesser in oxygen. And in fact the water, the amount of gas which is collected, see this is greater and this is lesser portion. Always this will be double of this test tube or this will be half of this particular region where the gas is generated. So you finally are able to split out the water into hydrogen and oxygen gases. Did you understand? So very, very simple activity which can be performed. Okay. So this decomposition is by electric current. So it will be electrolytic decomposition. Did you understand? This was by heat, so thermal decomposition. Another one is by light. In sunlight, if you place silver chloride actually is white in color. It will become grey.